I think it's time for the fun part. Y'all ready?
Yay, fine.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all
Ready
ready?
as can be.
You ready? What's the fun? What's the fun part? Ooh.
I know we hyped about the Olympics. I know we hyped about Valentine's Day. I know we hyped about NBA All-Star and the Super Bowl. But what month is it? Put some spec on my name.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So last week, I don't know if we ended in a tie or not, or if it was just a test round. I think I got some biased confirmation from certain friends and family that Saran might have won, but I don't know if I believe all that or not.
Believe the hype. Believe the hype.
But I think we're gonna do it right this time. So this is the second round of earning your black card. All right. So
Ding, 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 ding.
Right. So if you guys have been keeping up with us, we have been posting daily. Not unsung, but not as familiar or popularly known black historian figures on our social media platform. And we're going to continue going through that for the rest of the month as well. But we got 3 more nominees, candidates to earn our black cards. All right. So last time I presented to you guys Claudette Colvin, Saram presented Fritz Pollard, and Mr. Hardy over there, he presented H. Rap Brown. Now we've come with 3 new candidates, all right? I guess these black cards expire in a week, so we need to re-up. We need to reissue this right back up. So, who would like to go first?
Me.
All right, hold on. Let me get your information.
Hold on.
Let me get your information ready for you, sir.
Yeah, I go first, man, because I really like this guy, man. I really like this guy. I'll go first.
All right,
I like this guy.
let me get you center stage, sir.
I like this guy. And what this really does, I like this guy. I like this guy.
Do you like this guy or do you?
I do. I like this guy. I really
Okay.
do.
All right, Hardy boy, you ready?
I like this guy. Yes, I'm ready to go. This guy, I like this guy. Moses Fleetwood Walker, better known as Fleet Walker. This was an American professional baseball catcher, credited with being the first black man to play Major League Baseball. I know the other history and the other guy that you've heard about, but this was a native from Mount Pleasant, Ohio, a star athlete at the University of Michigan, and Walker played for the Toledo Blue Stockings of the American Association for the 1884 season. Wow, 1884. Though the Society for American Baseball Research indicates William Edward White, who passed as a white man and self-identified as such, was the first African-American baseball player in the major leagues. He actually played a single game for the Providence Grays around 5 years before Walker debuted for the Blue Stockings. Despite these findings, baseball historians still credit Walker with being the first major league to play and to be open about his black heritage, despite the widespread prejudice. See, this guy, William Edward White, they were able to research it. He was the first one. He played 1 game for the Providence Grays, but this guy was passing as white, and he identified, he checked the box as white. So history and the people who love the game still give it the first black player in the major leagues to Moses Fleetwood Walker. And Walker played his first major league. He played for 1 season, 42 games total before injuries led to his release. Now, keep in mind, Walker was a catcher, and you can imagine the equipment they had or lack thereof. And these guys coming in again, he did one brother out there on the field, and they coming in hard to home plate with cleats probably leading the way. So they say the guy went through injuries and he stood in there and he did what he did, and you can pretty much, when we played baseball or so or coming up, you play a little pitch and catch out there. If they didn't like you, they made you be the catcher, so to speak. You weren't the pitcher, you weren't gonna be the first base, you weren't gonna get to do anything, or they put you way in the outfield. But we all know that the outfielder became an elite position as well because you had to cover a lot of territory, you had to have the skill set. So a lot of times you were put in as a catcher. For that reason, behind the plate, getting beat up, getting whatever, running and chasing the balls, and so forth. So Walker is credited as the first African-American to participate in the major league before Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color line in 1947. After his baseball career, he became a successful businessman and inventor. As an advocate of Black nationalism, Walker also jointly edited a newspaper, The Equator, with his brother. He published the book Our Home Colony in 1908 to explore ideas about immigrating back to Africa. He died in 1924 at the age of 67. Audience, we have in 1887 Major League what is called a gentleman's agreement. I think Saran mentioned that last week on her guy. In Major League and minor league teams, owners adopted a secret agreement or unwritten rule that said that no new contracts will be given to Black ball players. This was between 1887, keep in mind, Walker was in 1884, and it went through 1946. Keep in mind, Robinson arrived in 1947. So that window there between these two great African-American brothers was shut down and we were shut out. And that's monumental as far as the game is concerned, because these guys were really ahead of their time, and we see how they pick and chose who they wanted to represent. And I just want to reach out to the audience and say that we have a ton of these stories about the first to do this and the first to accomplish that. However, these stories are not told. They are not told because they will make us great. We must do the work. We must do the research. We must do the heavy lift and ask the question. So be great. Moses Fleetwood Walker, my man of the day. Thank you.
I felt
Thank
like
you,
I was
Brother
listening
Hardy.
to
I'm just trying to get a card.
Dr. G.L. Hardy Jr.
I'm just trying to get a card.
Thank you, Brother Hardy.
Reverend Dr. G.L. Hardy Jr.
I'm just trying to get a card.
Speaking directly to the audience. Okay.
He said, I will speak to you. We have an initiative, an obligation.
We're on obligation.
He said, because that will make us great. I said, oh.
Yeah. So I can't tell that story.
All right.
Strong start. I like that.
Okay. He came out the gate. Came out the gate hot. Wow. Saran, does he earn it? Do we think that's a valuable
I guess it
win?
was a strong finish. So no, yeah, I give it to him. Stand on the sports track. Stand on the sports track. It's crazy.
You know,
He was what year? What year did he play?
1884.
1884.
1884, and
Way
our first real knowledge of
Recognized,
breaking the
our first
barrier
recognized was
is
19
1940 something.
1947, Robinson.
Talk about erasing history. Hmm.
How many years?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Too
they
many.
almost got away with it. That was about 60 years right there.
Yep. They almost got away with
63
it.
years.
The-
63
Yeah.
years. Crazy.
Now both of y'all
Wow.
scratching the exact same way.
I
That was
know,
scary.
right?
That was scary.
Oh, man. Saran, you want to go next or do I need to go next?
You got it. I guess I'll finish it. You go next.
All right, let me pull up my photo. All right, then. We can do it. We can do it. All right, let's go ahead and share my girl. All right. All right, y'all. My girl, Sarah Rector. All right. I'm going to take y'all down memory lane real quick. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I got mine scripted out. All right. So if y'all just bear with me and take a trip with me. All right. Picture this. It's 1913. America is deep in segregation. Black families are fighting just to survive. And an 11-year-old black girl suddenly becomes one of the richest children in the entire country. That girl was Sarah Rector, and somehow she's still not recognized as a household name. While others were historically in the spotlight, Sarah Rector was out here breaking generational ceilings before she even hit middle school. Oil was discovered on her land that she was given 160 acres of it. And overnight, she went from poverty to earning the equivalent of hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Her wealth was so shocking to the system that Oklahoma officials literally tried to take control of her money because they couldn't believe a black child could legally possess that kind of wealth. And here's where the story gets even more powerful. Historians point out that Sarah's case exposed the racist and predatory guardianship system that targeted black and native children with profitable land. She was forced under white guardianship, charged outrageous management fees, and even had to petition the courts to access her own money. Newspapers sensationalized her life, spreading rumors and treating her like a spectacle instead of a child. But despite all of that, Sarah Rector didn't crumble. She strategized. As an adult, she turned her early oil wealth into real, tangible investments. Here are some of the things she did with it. She built a real estate portfolio across Kansas City and Oklahoma. She owned and operated a restaurant boarding house business. She invested in railroad and bank stocks. She purchased government bonds. She created jobs and supported her community. And let's be clear, there is no record of Sarah exploiting anyone. Her story is about surviving exploitation, not causing it. She took a system designed to strip her of everything and still managed to build a life of stability, generosity, and quiet power. So, why is she an unsung hero? Because her success didn't fit the narrative America wanted to tell, because she wasn't a celebrity, because she was a black girl who became wealthy in a country that didn't want to see black wealth, because her story forces us to confront how many other black children were robbed by the same system. Sarah Rector isn't just a historical footnote, she is a blueprint for black entrepreneurship, a blueprint for resilience, a blueprint for turning opportunity into legacy even when the world is rooting against you. So in my opinion, if we're going to talk about impact, innovation, and inspiration, Sarah Rector isn't just the conversation, she is winning the entire category. And I think it's just about time we say her name with some of the energy we give to every other giant Black historian figure in the game. So I present to y'all my nominee, my candidate for earning my Black card, Miss Sarah Rector.
Sarah.
Okay then,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Wow. No, never
That's
heard
good.
of Sarah, man. Wow.
So I think that story is great. And actually, I actually came across it really last year. So last year, a movie came out in theaters called Sarah's Oil. And I actually just rented the movie, or I bought it on Amazon Prime. So you guys go back and watch it. I bought it on Amazon Prime, Sarah's Oil. They do a, I would say, a good depiction of it, of her story. I'm sure, you know, like anything, it's not fully true, but you definitely feel the emotion. You definitely feel it. You definitely see her brilliance and how she was kind of thinking during that time. But as an 11-year-old girl who can negotiate, speak to terms, and kind of hold her own, and then basically build generational wealth like she did, and yes, she still had a lot of stuff stolen from her because
Absolutely.
unfortunately that's just the name of the game. But for her to maintain, keep the stuff that she was able to hold on to and to turn it into the thing she did, I mean, that right there just shows me that anything is possible. And the fact that they really tried to hide this story, like we don't even hear about Sarah Rector. That's history right there. We talk about Black Wall Street, we talk about Harlem, we
Mm.
talk about the Great Renaissance, we talk about all these Black excellence. We don't talk about her. And little do people know, Rockefeller, the Rockefeller,
Mhm.
bought her stuff. He paid
Mhm.
like $36 million for her land.
Wow.
So while we hooting and hollering about how great Rockefeller was, which no shame and no take from him, he got it from someone though. He
Right.
bought it from Sarah. So
Wow.
that's my candidate. That's who I presented to the table. And so I believe that I can earn my Black card with her leading the way for me.
Okay. That was good. That was
Very
good.
good. Sarah Rector. What year was that? Not to put you on the spot.
So in
19.
1913, she was 11 years
Mm.
old when she was given the land.
Right.
So there was a thing that was going on during that time where they were giving land out
Right.
to children actually. And at the time, it was just like, oh, that land is dry, it's barren, ain't nothing out there but lizards and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We can't do nothing with it. So you just let them go out there, basically. And it's like, you know, basically like, you know, hardware, the sharecropping and doing that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, but little did they know,
Wow.
there was an ocean up under there, an ocean of
Wow.
gold.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She struck oil.
That's crazy.
Man, that'll do it. That would definitely do it, man. Very good.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. That was, I was holding on to that one. I kept that in my back pocket. I didn't want to use that one just yet.
Yeah.
That was my secret weapon.
I didn't know about Sarah. Yeah, that was very good, man. Wow. We wow.
We're amazing, right? It just, and that's what I enjoy most about this game is it's forcing us, even as Black people, to dig and dive deeper than what we know.
Right.
But all right, Snoop, let me get your stuff set up. You know what I'm saying? Let me get you right.
Kind of staying on theme a little bit too with the entrepreneurship and Black wealth. So, hey, my person is Robert Sangstack Abbott. So he is credited for publishing the first Black newspaper, or like one of the strongest newspapers in the Chicago area. So he was born 1868, and he attended the Hampton Institute in Hampton, Virginia, and studied printing. He also went to Kent College of Law and obtained his law degree. However, he found difficulty in employment, obviously due to race and everything. So he kind of steered back to the journalism track and went that route. And so he is the founder and editor of the Chicago Defender, which was a weekly newspaper that dominated the Black press, with one of their regular contributors being, and longtime regular contributors being, Langston Hughes. So that should tell you how major this was off rip.
Mhm.
This was founded in 1905, and within the decade, this newspaper became the most prominent African American newspaper across the U.S. Within 4 years, the sales and viewership actually quadrupled, jumping from 50K sales and all of that in 1916 to about 200K by the time they hit 1920, and it only continued to rise from there. This newspaper consisted of political informations as well as keeping up with the social and entertainment climate during that time. Something that was significant within this newspaper is that he actually refused to use derogatory language when referring to our brothers and sisters. So there was no using the words colored and Negro in his papers. He completely banned that and instead identified us as the race, which is like we are the race. I thought that was pretty dope. Um, Also, he kind of promoted the fight for equality and encouraged Black Americans to fight for their equality and promoted the anti-lynching slogan, which was "If you must die, take at least one with you." That was real.
I
Malcolm X
like
definitely would have been up on that. That's real. Um, but yeah,
it.
sit with that. He also had a major influence on the Great Migration, which we know is when there was an influx of Black Americans coming from the southern states up to the north and expanding and, collaborating, mixing and mingling like that. And overall, his success led to the Chicago governor naming him the Chicago Commission of Race Relations and him becoming one of the first early Black millionaires in the country, as well as a Black hero by invoking that self help and entrepreneurship and instilling that and encouraging others to kind of take that role and start creating and, create strength in the Black community and everything. Our brother passed on February 29th, 1940, and he was inducted in the Georgia Writers Hall of Fame in 2024. So that's my homeboy Robert, black billionaire, black millionaire, newspaper editor. So yeah, kind of keeping on that track of entrepreneurship. I guess that was a little bit of our theme today with a sprinkle of athleticism in the beginning. But yeah.
Robert. I'm familiar with Mr. Abbott actually. I learned about him last year as well. I came across him a little bit last February, so it's refreshing to see him back around for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely. In the newspaper game, back then that served us
That was
very
media.
well
That
because
was social media right there.
yeah, and it had some language in there that we only
Hmm.
could decipher. So it was a movement for sure. Yeah, that was
Yep.
good. That was great. And then he self-made millionaire, hey, Chi-Town. And at that time, you gotta know that's Capone running around there, the 1920s and all that. So it's gangster in Chicago at the same time. So yeah, he survived a serious era there in Chicago. Absolutely.
I'm sure he over in Chicago and you talking about Capone and then you got Bumpy over there. No, I'm joking. In
No,
Harlem.
basically. The
Nah,
1920s, the rolling 20s.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the industrial age right there. Everybody was getting up. But
Mhm.
awesome, you guys. I think this second round went really well. So audience at home, again, we're gonna post this on the site, on the YouTube, and on our social media. You guys, please go out, vote. Tell us who your favorite candidate was for this episode. Again, this is a friendly competition, but is also here just to educate you as well as educate us. We will post these on our daily post as well as the rest as we continue on through the rest of the month of February. So please just stay tuned. Enjoy. If you have any people that you want to share with us or that you want us to speak on, please send them in our DMs or email us or whatever. We want to know more about our people's history during the month of February. So Thank you guys for that. Good job, Saran. Good job, Hardy Boy. That was amazing.
Good
I really
job, good
enjoyed
Good
that.
job, good
job,
job.
gang.
Good job,
That
good
one was
job.
dope, man. I think that was really good, man. Man. So we've made it. Once again, we've made it through another episode, guys.
And I gotta linger on it. This is so now I know you guys did 2 or 3, but that is a way to open that train of thought, to open that up is to the way you presented and the way we're presenting these figures because, on the surface, all we know as you open up in the beginning is the main ones, the Malcolms, the Martins, the Jackie Robinsons. But there are people way in front of them, man, that we have no clue about, man.
At
Way,
all.
Yeah.
oh my
All we
goodness,
know is the civil rights movement.
that's all
Which
they
is
History
got.
of the
tragic.
civil
Like,
rights movement.
we know Harriet Tubman, the Civil Rights Movement, Nat
Right,
Turner,
Facts.
you know, Madam C.J. Walker,
right,
like the big household names, but there's a lot of
man.
people who inspired these people that
Yeah,
we are not even harping on. Like, we're thinking that these people are inspiring others. No, no, no. They were inspired by some of these other people who were doing stuff way before them.
way before them, man. Golly, man. My
Way
God,
before them.
1884. That's 70 years for
That's
Jackie,
insane.
Dude,
And
I
then
didn't
this
even know
guy
there was
here,
a thing like that.
Rector, she came around. She been rich
Sarah
way
Rector.
before.
Shawty was,
Way
and
before.
we talking about Madam C.J. Walker is the first millionaire.
Right. False,
Well,
Eh,
but
actually,
they
when
ain't
was
tell
Madam
us that.
C.J. Walker? It might not be false, actually. Was Madam C.J. Walker
No, she's
1800 or
supposed to have been
1900?
the first. Well, I don't mean it derogatively. I just
but what
No,
mean
Madam
they
year?
C.J.
don't tell us.
Walker was the first. She was the first millionaire, I
Yeah.
think. But I'm trying to figure out what year though. Madam C.J. Walker, millionaire.
And this girl here, if you put together the amount of oil she had and what it would
Oh yeah,
be,
Madam C.J. Walker was older than her. Yeah.
oh, she
Okay. So
was,
Madam
she was
C.J. Walker,
before.
yeah, because Madam C.J. died in 1919. Sarah Rector got her thing in
In
1913. So yeah.
1912 or something, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, so Madam CJ still the number one. Okay,
Okay,
we not
okay.
disrespecting you, madam.
Not at all.
Just need to fact check. I'm all about fact checking. But even still, at 11,
And it's crazy
Eh,
they made her be adopted by a white family or something.
so she still no. So the way and I didn't explain that. So I'm glad you went back. So the way the guardianship worked is they gave you land, but what they would do is when they found out that kids were coming up with oil and striking it, that was like, oh, dang, we done gave them land, we gave it away. And talking about they gave the deed away. Once you give that deed away, that is a legitimate title.
right.
Like, you can't come
Ownership.
get this. So what they would do is they send these taxes and like these like management fees and all this other stuff. And then what they would also say is, hey, as a child, you can't own this.
Right,
Even though your
Mm,
parents are still around, Black people don't know what to do with wealth like that. So
right,
you need a white advisor or a
right,
guardian to make sure
mm,
you're spending your money correctly. But in reality, you were just signing away the deed and the
right,
contract back to them. And
mm,
then the judge will be like, oh, this is your guardian. He has the right to speak on how to
right,
go about your money.
right.
And the thing about Sarah is Sarah was actually pretty educated at a young age. She had a teacher who taught her about these stocks and bonds and stuff and how to read contracts and stuff. So even her parents didn't understand, but she was talking to the people like, well, technically you got to do this.
Right,
Actually, it's actually $1 per acre, not 50 cents per acre.
right.
Actually, I know it's actually worth $3 and you're trying to get me for $2. And
so
Exactly.
she
then,
was advocating for herself. That's good.
yeah. So she knew. And then, they would randomly come back and be like, "Oh, it's we'll give you this much then." Why are you giving me this much money now? You didn't want it before.
Right.
Cuz you know something now, right? So she would do stuff like that, and
But
that's what
that's
the
how
guardianship was.
that's how they would change the game and put
Mhm.
these people in place, their guardianship and, that would come in and work on their behalf thinking you didn't know your way around.
Same
when
way
they
with
pass.
sharecropping. The same way with sharecropping. It was no
Absolutely.
different. You thought that, okay, I give you this land to go work on, you can live on it, you can do all this stuff, blah blah blah. But little do you know is, by the time you get done paying back all the money he done loaned you to grow all this stuff, you done broke even, and now you don't make nothing. It's right back to him. So, it's still theirs. So
Right. You're never gonna break even. Yeah.
so it,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a it was
Yeah.
a, the Homestead Act, all that, man. They used to
Yeah.
get, it was grimy. And that, we talked about that back in one of our old episodes with the black text. It just goes back to that. So it's crazy out here,
But
man.
and that's the thing about it. You can track it. It's not a long time ago, and these stories are piecemealing it together on how we get here today, man. It's not. We thinking it's eon way
No.
we a couple of generations removed
We
from
are, I mean, it's really your grandparents, Hardy. Your
exactly
grandparents.
exactly.
My grandparents were the children of their grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandparents is Sarah Rector. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my grandparents.
Right.
And then and so it's like, it's crazy.